How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Do you struggle with starting your glue down hardwood jobs because the boards tend to slide all over the place and you struggle getting started or wrapping around walls? Well, if that's the case, stick around. I'm going to show you how to take care of that with this Cool Glide seam iron. Okay, so what we got going on here, I've got 2 rows of wood laid out here on the floor just as I would if I was going to be starting a glue down hardwood job. And what I do when I start a job is I'll lay me a few runs down, make sure all these joints right here are nice and tight together, all the joints down there. Now keep in mind, these are just completely laid here. There's no glue under them whatsoever, okay? And that is exactly how I start my jobs, okay? You never want to just glue you some and take off. You always want to get you a few runs laid out there, make sure everything is fit together good, nice and tight, nice and straight where you want it in order to start, because keep in mind, if you start off crooked, your whole job is going to be crooked, okay? So starting off is the most important part of a wood job, okay? So I got this all laid out just like I want it to do. I'm going to secure me some boards behind it. That way I got something to push on, something solid. And that way I can glue my floor down and start taping without anything moving, okay? Let me show you exactly what I'm talking about. So what I did, I've took me just a few scraps here of hardwood. I've cut them in small little pieces like this. I got 4 pieces right here because I've got 2 seams in my boards that I want to start working with right here, and then 1 for each end. That way it's not going to move on me, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this double stick Cool Glide seam tape. I'm going to cut me pieces just big enough. It ain't even got to be the full length of the board, just big enough, something underneath there to where it's going to activate the iron, because like I said previously, this iron will not work unless it has this tape under it, because it reacts with the foil that is made into the tape, okay? So again, what I want to do is just cut me some pieces. Like I said, they don't have to be as big as the board, just something like that, you know what I'm saying? Something like that's going to be plenty strong, plenty big enough, and hard enough, secure enough to secure this to the floor where I'm not going to have any movement whenever I'm working my boards too, okay? So I'm going to cut me about 4 of them, about that size right there, and that's going to be plenty. And what I want to do with these, now that I got them all cut, I'm going to set this out of the way. What I want to do with these pieces of tape is I'm going to lay each one of them. I'm going to peel the back of these off so that it sticks to the floor. This is a double stick on one side, and on the other side it is a seam glue adhesive, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and stick this right here, right where the joint of the board is. That way I can rub it down really good, make sure it gets a good stick. This stuff works awesome. This will really work really good. I've done this on several jobs already and I was highly impressed with it, okay? So first thing I want to do is, now that I got that under there, I'm going to tap this board in there. Make sure it is all nice and flush right there, okay? That's exactly where I need it. There's no gaps in my joints of the boards. This joint right here is all good, and this seam right here is all good. Now that that's done, I'm going to go ahead and move down to my next one. I'm going to do this 1 on each end of the boards and 1 on every joint of the board, okay? Okay. So if this joint is tied off in the board right here and this end of this board is tied off right there, that's going to allow me to pull or push any amount of pressure I need to get these boards right here together, and so on without this glue down floor moving all over the place, okay? That is the most problematic part of doing a glue down job, is getting started and wrapping around walls, okay? And I want to point out that I have done that on every single joint. Right there is another joint. I got my board there stuck to the floor, and right down there on the other end I've got Cool Glide double stick tape under all of those places. Now let's stick them to the floor, okay? Okay, so this is going to be just this easy. The one great thing about this iron is you don't have to wait on it to heat up. Once I plug it in, it is absolutely there, okay? I'm going to set it on there, and I'm going to use this on a low setting because I don't need nothing too dramatic to get this glue job started, okay? It just needs to melt this board right here to the floor, so I got something to push on. So I'm going to set it right on there and turn it on. Again, it's on the low setting, okay? Okay, just that fast. That seam tape is melted. I'm going to put some pressure on that board right there so it gets a good adhesion to the floor. that's already done, I'm going to come move up to this next board right here, okay? Turn it on low, let it sit right there for just a second. Okay, that board is already stuck right there. Now that board on that joint is stuck. Let's move on down to the other ones. Okay, once again, set this on low. Put the iron on there, put that bad boy on low, and we're going to go with it, okay? Boom, right there, that's already melted. Put this on there, drop it on low. Give it just a little push right there so it gets a good adhesion to the backs of the boards that we're wanting to stay in place. Okay, that's it. I am now ready to install this hardwood, okay? So I can take, these are stuck in place, okay? So now there's nothing in the world to stop me from pushing on this, putting my glue down. What I would do now is I would actually slide these rows out of the way. Got it marked out there where I need to glue to, spread my glue, then I can come back and put these boards down, just like so, and there's nothing in the world to stop me from tapping them in together, pushing nice and tight, pushing on it nice and tight, and I'm going to take my painter's tape, stick it here, push it back as hard as I can, and tape it right to this board right here, okay? Let me get some tape and I'll show you a demonstration of that. Now that I got it glued, this is an anchor point right here, okay? So this is what I want to secure everything to. My first few rows, I want to glue it, pull it really tight up against that, and stick my tape to the board that's stuck to the floor right there. I'm going to do that on the joints and on the ends just to ensure that everything is together really nice and tight and stuck to the boards that are secured to the floor in order to keep everything straight, okay? And after this starting point, I don't have anything else to worry about. I can just glue, take my boards next time and tape to this run. I don't have anything else to worry about because I've got this settled, secured to the floor and ready to go, okay? So that's how you can use the Cool Glide seam system to get your glue, hardwood glue down job started to the floor without any issues whatsoever. Then once this dries right here, okay, you can come back, take these boards up off of the floor and continue running that direction. And this row right here is already going to be stuck to the floor after you let the glue dry, say the next day or something, whenever you come back, or even at the end of the day, okay? Once the glue has some hours to set, you can pull these up right here that I've secured to the floor with seam tape, with my Cool Glide tape, and take off going that direction with my wood, okay? So that is an absolute no-brainer how to get your hardwood job started with Cool Glide seam tape, okay? Now let's see how we're going to go around a wall and take off in the next room, okay? That's just a little different, so let's check that out. So I already know what you're thinking. You're thinking, well, Ruben, how good is this going to stick to the floor? I mean, it is wood, and this floor that I'm working on is concrete, obviously, because we're doing a glue down job. If it wasn't concrete, we would obviously be nailing it. So let's check this out. I'm going to pull the tape off of it, and let's see how hard it is to get this Cool Glide seam tape board stuck off of the floor, okay? Let's check it out. And we'll take a look at the board. Someone was showing concern about it burning the back of the board or causing damage to it. We're going to inspect this board real good and see just what it did to the board. Okay, so as you can see, that definitely stuck really good. It took a pry bar to get that up. These are not going to move, okay? Let's take a look at the board. Real nice and close, like. Okay, this is the board right here that I just pulled up, okay? You can see right there and right there, there is just a little bit of a burn on the back of the board, and that is with the iron on low, okay? However, it did not cause any damage, absolutely no damage whatsoever to the surface of this. That's because the heat is transferred to the back, okay? It only reacts with the tape, okay? So it's not going to damage this. It don't even heat up until it hits this seam tape on the back of the board, okay? I'm going to try my best to peel this out of the way, and let's take a look and see if it even actually burnt the wood on the back of this, okay? Let's check it out really fast. I don't know if I'm even going to be able to get that off of there. Okay, yep, there it comes. Okay, so it looks like the actual burning itself was even on the paper. It wasn't even on the wood. Look right there. So it was actually on the glue and the paper itself. There was no burning whatsoever on the wood at all, okay? Once you scrape off that paper, there's no burn on the wood whatsoever, okay? Let's get on with going around the walls and check it out. Okay, so what we got going on here, we have a room of hardwood right here, and now we're going to be working around the wall. This has been the wall, working around the wall into the next room, and we still got to make sure that this wood stays all nice and straight with this. That way we don't get a problem. If we start gluing and pushing our wood together there, it's just going to come right up against the wall and knock all of this out of whack. So we got to make sure it all stays nice and straight throughout the rest of this install, because we got our first runs, just like we explained, all nice and straight. Everything else has got to stay straight with that, okay? So what I want to do is, as you can see, I run my boards into the next room, got me a few runs dry laid, once again, all the way down through there. Now what I do is, I will take anywhere that this is vulnerable and going to move, I'm going to take, like for instance, right here on the seam of a board, I'm going to take and mark that right there. Now, right down here on this end of the board, okay? That's where I want to mark. That's where I need to mark and secure it off so nothing moves while I'm pushing my glue out of the way, okay? So, I'm going to run me a pencil mark, straight edge or anything like that, right down the edge of that. Now I'm going to take and slide all this back, okay? Okay, so now with all of that slid back, I have me a mark right here, and I have me a mark on the end of the boards right down there, okay? Now keep in mind, this is running around a wall, so we still gotta have something solid to push on. I'm gonna go ahead and take right here, once again, just cut me a little piece here. It don't have to be nothing dramatic. And also another one for that other end right down there, okay? Again, nothing dramatic. Okay, I marked it right here, right where that joint in the board goes, so I want to take this and go ahead and stick it, place it to the floor, okay? Put that about centered right there of that mark, that way I know about center with my iron according to that mark. I'm going to do the same thing down here on this end where I get to the very end of my installs, okay? Okay, so now that I have my Cool Glide seam iron tape down to the floor right here, and my floor marked off right here where the edge of the wood was, I'm going to go ahead and glue this entire area right here and place my boards back right where they go, okay? And then after I get all of that glued, I'm going to go ahead, let's go ahead and do that. Let's start installing our wood back. Now, we're just saying we glued all of this, okay? And the thing about this is we did not glue over our seam tape, okay? We just glued up to the edge of it, right around it, just like it was a door stop or something like that in the way. We just glued right around our tape. We glued everything all the way around our tape. Same thing down there, everything all the way around it, and glued the entire area where we had our boards dry fit in there, okay? Now that we got it glued, we're going to go ahead and place everything back in order. Okay, now if you'll remember, I marked my board right here, I marked the wall right here where my tape is, and down there on the other end, I marked the wall where my tape is down there as well. Now I know where my seam tape is. I pretty much centered it with that joint in the board right there, okay? So I know where to place my iron. Now keep in mind, there's already glue on the floor, okay? So I'm going to come right here on this joint, pull this board in right here, okay? Because this little bitty strip that I have here for going around the wall is got just a little gap in it, okay? So I'm going to pull it in, make sure it stays pulled in, take my iron, center it. I got an arrow right here on my iron, center it with that right there. Boom, pop it over there on low. That is doing its thing right there. After that's done, this is going to be completely secure to the floor. I don't have to worry about it. I can keep running my boards. I can push on the floor. Whatsoever I need to do, okay? Now that's separated a little bit right there, so before that dries, boom, I tap it in right there. Now that glue is going to set up and hold that from ever coming back apart again, okay? Now keep in mind, my tape is right here. Everything else around that tape is glued, okay? Not going to be an issue ever. Right here, I marked it on the baseboard right here as well. I know exactly where my tape is. I'm going to take my iron, set right here, center of my mark on the baseboard. Once again, boom, put that over on low. And that is done just that fast again. I'm going to go ahead and mash it down, give it just a little bit of a stick in the floor right there, make sure it gets a good adhesion. Now, this job right here is completely tied off, completely, absolutely completely ready to take back off in this next room and run that direction, okay? I can push, pull, do anything I need to do. I can tap all that stuff together, any gaps, anything like that. And because my very first board here is, once again, secured to the floor, I can take my tape, what we use for the glue down wood jobs, take my tape, pull it over, and secure it to that very first row, okay? That's going to keep it from ever gapping back apart or anything until the glue sets up, okay? Bam! Once again, we got it. Once again, the Cool Glide seam iron has come in there, not only on carpet, not only on LVP, but also on a hardwood job. This thing is absolutely the best multi-purpose tool on the market. You can use this thing for so many things, and we are not done yet, okay? There's still more stuff that this thing is excellent for. Be sure to tune into all of my upcoming videos on the Cool Glide system. It's going to be a little series here. So I can hear the comments pouring in now. But Ruben, how much is this utility tape? How much is that double stick Cool Glide tape? It's pressure sensitive on one side, seam tape on the other side. It's $26 a roll for a 66-foot roll, okay? You might say $26 for one roll of tape. That's outrageous. Check it out. I'm only using little pieces of it, okay? That's all you have to use of this to get your wood job started, finished up, wrapped up, completely done with no issues of the floor moving all over the place, okay? How many little 6-inch pieces of seam tape can you get out of a 6-inch roll? I tell you what, you cut them about 6 inches long, you're going to get 132 pieces of tape out of a 66-foot roll if you're using little 6-inch pieces, just as this. And there's no reason to use any more at all if you do it just like I demonstrated here, okay? Once again, I'm not pressuring you to buy this tool or this tape or anything like that. I'm simply showing you the benefits of it, what all you can do with it, and if you don't have one, what you're missing out on. Thank you once again for tuning in. FBS, peace out.